Hello, this is Geotech, and today I'm going to be talking about DuckDuckGo and their decision to deprioritize websites that they deem as espousing Russian propaganda in the midst of the Ukraine-Russian conflict. A lot of DuckDuckGo users are upset because they feel that DuckDuckGo is walking back on their promise of delivering unbiased results. If we go to the CEO's Twitter page, this is what he had to say about it. Like so many others, I am sickened by Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the gigantic humanitarian crisis it continues to create. At DuckDuckGo, we've been rolling out search updates that downrank sites associated with Russian disinformation. In addition to downranking sites associated with disinformation, we also often place news modules and information boxes at the top of DuckDuckGo search results where they are seen and clicked the most to highlight quality information for rapidly unfolding topics. DuckDuckGo's mission is to make simple privacy protection accessible to all. Privacy is a human right and transcends politics, which is why about 100 million people around the world use DuckDuckGo. We don't have an exact count since we don't track people. So ultimately, DuckDuckGo is definitely taking a political stand here. But are they really walking back on a sort of promise? Well, let's take a look. Someone in the replies replied with a tweet quoting the CEO here. So there was this article a while back in 2019, and the CEO said, "When you search, you expect unbiased results, but that's not what you get on Google. You can revoke Google's access to search and location histories, but the only true way to protect yourself is to leave Google." So a lot of DuckDuckGo users are saying, aha, see, they did promise to provide unbiased results. But when you actually look at the context of that article, they're referring to something very specific. And so the key thing is looking at that context. By unbiased, DuckDuckGo meant unbiased in terms of personalization that Google often uses. So when each of us does a Google search, it's different for all of us. But on DuckDuckGo, it means that what we type is the same for all DuckDuckGo users. Though I understand how users could misinterpret it, I personally never considered them unbiased politically, especially because they largely rely on Bing's search engine. Maybe even some of Google, if I'm not mistaken. So in the back of my mind, I never thought that I would get purely unbiased results because that's impossible, especially for search engines. So in some ways, I do understand the criticism that DuckDuckGo is getting, but again, when you look into it deeper, they never meant politically unbiased. They meant unbiased in the sense of search and location histories and Google using the search engine to manipulate and serve you things that you are more likely to click on for ad revenue. Then if we scroll down, we see one of the replies. The whole point of DuckDuckGo is privacy. The whole point of the search engine is to show more relevant content over less relevant content. And that is what we continue to do, from the CEO. And it is true, like DuckDuckGo still offers you privacy in that sense. It's still better than Google. I still will personally be using it, although I've been using Ecosia and DuckDuckGo kind of in tandem. Now, if you were to ask me, do you agree with DuckDuckGo deprioritizing Russian news websites? I don't think there's a simple yes or no for me. I think it's definitely their right to do so, and they're doing everything they can to deliver what they think is the best information and accurate information. But of course, I wouldn't want DuckDuckGo or any other company to be the arbiters of what is true or not. Again, my preference would be to have a decentralized, community-funded or user-funded alternative so that we can go to the search engines that we trust. So if you were to ask me, well, who do you trust on what is true information or not right now? Well, generally, I trust leftists that are critical of capitalism just because I feel like that is objectively the most accurate information based on things I've researched, but that's me personally. Like, I wouldn't go to CNN or Fox News for criticism of capitalism because they're capitalist institutions, and so I know they have a bias. But sometimes specific articles about different topics might be accurate still. And that's really the way to approach things. But if you must know, There is a sort of decentralized search engine alternative called Cerex. It basically lets anyone build a search engine, and each search engine can have their own biases, and each search engine can be independent, user-funded. They might even tell you up front that, hey, maybe we're biased this way or the other way, and that's fine with me if they're transparent about it. But just to go to a specific one, if you go to this Cerex instance, if you click the settings, you can actually control which engines it's using. Because let's say you don't trust one specific source and maybe you want to uncheck it, you can uncheck it here. And generally, I'm in favor of giving users choice. Sometimes I may want to see Russian propaganda or disinformation. Maybe I want to actually criticize it. Maybe I want to just note it down for historical reasons. There could be lots of other reasons that I may want those search results. Giving users the ability to turn them off and on seems like a good idea to me. But let me know your thoughts. Will you stop using DuckDuckGo? Do you think that they've broken a promise here? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. If you're enjoying my video, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, PeerTube, follow me on Odyssey. You could also support me on LiberaPay, Patreon. See links in the description below.